Internationally, several countries are contemplating generational smoking bans, and there is a growing debate on whether Canada should explore a similar path to stop younger generations from picking up the habit. Government officials in the UK and New Zealand have taken steps to curb smoking, specifically young people, ultimately aiming for a smoke-free generation. These policies, which increase the legal smoking age year by year, eventually make it illegal for anyone to buy cigarettes, are done with hopes of creating a healthier smoke-free future. But the idea of a generational ban has been met with some serious criticism. Joining us now is Mr. Bill Wirtz, Senior Policy Analyst at the Consumer Choice Center, to help us unpack the debate over generational smoking bans. Thank you for joining us today, Mr. Wirtz.
Thank you for having me.
Well, it is totally understandable that we don't want a new generation of smokers. Your view is that the bans like this could do more harm than good. Why is that so?
So it's important to note smoking is not good for you. Smoking causes emphysema and lung cancer. If people are watching right now who are smoking, please try your best to quit. But just because something is bad doesn't mean prohibition is a good way to end it. Alcohol is not good for you, but Canadian alcohol prohibition didn't work, and neither did the American one. It was actually a complete disaster. Because what people do is they get the products anyway, and they get it off the black market. And that's where we have no quality controls, no price controls, no tax revenue, and all the crime that goes with it. I mean, just according to the RCMP, there are over 50 illegal cigarette factories and 300 smoke shacks in Ontario and Quebec. So the system for the black market to actually provide cigarettes to people who want to buy them is already there. There are 175 organizations in Canada that benefit already from illicit trade of cigarettes. So prohibition is just a bad way to go about this problem.
Like you mentioned, that generational prohibition could fuel the black market. Why is that the case? And do we have examples of where black markets for cigarettes have come about after bans or additional regulations?
Yes. So during COVID, the country of Bhutan banned cigarettes completely in the country because they said, well, COVID is a good moment to do this now, to phase out cigarettes completely. And it backfired so significantly that smoking rates actually increased because on the black market, cigarettes were cheaper for people and they ended up smoking more of them. And so ultimately, the ban was dropped and the government even had to start subsidizing cigarettes for a while because they wanted for people to buy again on the legal market. So we have examples of prohibition, whether it's cigarettes, whether it's alcohol, whether it's gambling, a lot of these things. I mean, cannabis was illegal for a very long time in Canada, and that clearly worked perfectly. No, it didn't work. The government eventually concluded it's better to regulate and to have a legal framework for people to do it responsibly.
You are vocal about the importance of vaping as a harm reduction tool, specifically stating that vaping can be a tool that smokers can use to quit cigarettes altogether. But I think a lot of Canadians are concerned about the health risks from vaping. How is vaping different or less dangerous than smoking?
So according to Public Health England, vaping is 95% safer than using conventional tobacco products. And the reason for that is because cigarettes, the problem in cigarettes is that you are setting something on fire. So the combustion in cigarettes is the problem. You are setting the cigarette on fire and you're inhaling those carcinogens in the cigarette. Nicotine, on the other hand, is not the problem in cigarettes. With the same way that nicotine replacement therapy, people use those patches or chewing gums, those also contain nicotine. That is not the problem. So what people do with vape devices such as e-cigarettes or heat-not-burn devices is find a productive way to quit smoking. And that's what governments should actually be promoting. But unfortunately, in the UK, politicians are saying those should be outlawed for young people as well. So anyone born after the 1st of January 2009 would not be allowed to purchase those products because they're considered tobacco products, which is nonsensical because they don't contain tobacco at all. So I think this is really bad policy. The UK used to lead smoking cessation through vaping, and now it seems to backtrack on that, and it's very bad news.
Thank you very much for your time today. Very informative.
Thank you so much.